The city lights blurred past as I drove, the hum of the engine the only sound between us. Lauren sat in the passenger seat, scrolling through her phone, her nails tapping lightly against the screen. I hadn't spoken in minutes. Not since we left the event. Not since I caught a glimpse of something that made my stomach twist. I wasn't supposed to see it. It was one of those moments where fate plays its cruel little tricks. Her screen lit up at just the right angle, just long enough for my eyes to catch a name. Ethan. A heart emoji next to it. The kind of detail you don't miss when you've been married for 5 years and your wife has never once put a heart next to your name. A normal person wouldn't have reacted right away. A normal person would have played it cool. But my body didn't wait for my brain to catch up. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tight it felt like my knuckles might snap. My foot pressed harder on the gas. Lauren barely noticed. I glanced at her again. She was smiling, smirking even. Whatever was on that screen was making her very, very happy. I should have said something right then, but the words lodged themselves in my throat. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. I needed to know before I accused her of something this big. Then my phone vibrated in my pocket. Still gripping the wheel with one hand, I pulled it out and glanced at the screen. A text from an unknown number. Hey man, you don't know me, but you need to check your wife's texts with Ethan. I'm sorry. My pulse slammed against my ribs. My mouth went dry. The world outside the windshield suddenly felt like it was spinning. I didn't even realize I had slammed the brakes until the car behind us honked loud enough to jolt me out of my haze. Lauren whipped her head toward me, eyes wide. What the hell, Adam? She snapped, bracing herself against the dashboard. Couldn't hear her. Not over the rush of blood in my ears. Not over the weight of the message sitting in my lap like a loaded gun. I inhaled sharply, forcing my voice to stay calm. Who's Ethan? It was just a name. A simple, harmless name. But I saw it the second it left my mouth. The flicker of panic in her eyes. It was barely a second, barely even noticeable, but it was there. Her mouth opened, then closed. A beat too long before she said, What? Not who. Not Ethan who? Just what? Like she needed time to think. Like she needed time to lie. I turned my body toward her, gripping the phone so tight my fingers ached. Who the hell is Ethan? And just like that, the air in the car turned thick, suffocating. The city outside blurred into nothing, because I already knew. I knew before she even opened her mouth. Lauren blinked, once, twice. Then she scoffed, like I had just asked her the dumbest question in the world. Are you serious right now? She said, tossing her phone into her lap and folding her arms. Defensive. Classic. Ethan is just a friend from work. Jesus, Adam. She was good. Too good. The way she rolled her eyes. The way she acted like I was the one being crazy. It was rehearsed. Practiced. She didn't even ask how I knew the name. That's what normal people do when they're innocent. Instead, she went straight to gaslighting. I wasn't having it. I unlocked my phone with shaking hands and shoved the screen toward her. Then explain this. Her gaze flicked down to the message from the unknown number. For a split second, just one, her mask cracked. Her throat bobbed in a swallow. Then, just as quickly, her face smoothed out, and she let out a sharp laugh. Oh my God. She actually laughed. You're seriously believing some random number over your own wife? She reached for my phone like she was going to grab it, but I yanked it away. Unlock yours. I shot back. That wiped the smirk off her face. Excuse me? You heard me. If he's just a friend, unlock your phone and show me. Her fingers tightened around her own phone, knuckles going pale. She didn't say anything at first. She just looked at me and I saw it, her brain calculating, weighing her options, deciding whether she could still talk her way out of this or if she needed a different approach. Then she did something I wasn't expecting. She smirked. A slow, deliberate smirk as she turned her screen toward me. Oh no, she said, fake pouting. Looks like my battery's dead. I nearly laughed out loud. The absolute audacity. I had just seen her texting. Her screen had been on 2 minutes ago. Give it to me, I demanded. Lauren clutched it to her chest. Wow, so this is what we're doing now? Snooping through each other's phones like insecure teenagers. She shook her head, clicking her tongue. I can't believe this. She still thought she could flip it on me. I stared at her for a long moment. My wife, the woman I had trusted for years, the woman who was sitting here, lying to my face so effortlessly it made my stomach turn. I wasn't even sure who I was looking at anymore. And then, as if the universe wanted to make absolutely sure I had no doubts left, my phone buzzed again. Same unknown number. If she won't show you, check your phone bill. Look at the call logs. I promise you, man, you deserve to know. I had never checked our phone bill in my life. Why would I? We were married. We shared everything. There was never a reason to doubt. Until now. I didn't even have to say anything. Lauren saw the way my expression changed as I processed the message. She saw the exact second I realized I didn't need her to unlock her phone. I could get the answers myself. And that was when she snapped. You know what? She said suddenly, voice sharp. Pull the car over. What? I said pull the car over. She was practically yelling now, eyes flashing with something I couldn't quite place. Panic? Anger? Desperation? Maybe all of it. I should have kept driving. I should have let her sit there and stew in her own guilt. But part of me wanted to see what she would do, what she would say when we weren't trapped in a moving vehicle together. So I pulled over. And the second I did, she lunged for my phone that I barely had time to react. 1 second, my phone was in my hand, my lifeline to the truth, and the next, Lauren was clawing at it like a wild animal. Give me that! She shrieked, her nails digging into my wrist as she wrestled for control. I yanked my arm away, nearly elbowing her in the process. What the hell is wrong with you? You're acting insane, Adam. You're believing some random number over me, your wife. She snapped, her voice shaking. Not with fear, but with rage. Like she wasn't terrified of getting caught, just furious that I wasn't letting her manipulate me. She tried again, lunging across the center console, reaching for my phone like her life depended on it. This time I was ready. I dodged. Lauren, however, was not. Her momentum carried her forward, and before I could even process what was happening, her hand slammed into the horn. The blaring honk shattered the night, making both of us jolt. For a moment we just sat there, frozen. The only sound was our ragged breathing, the distant murmur of traffic. Then, as if the universe had a sixth sense of humor, my phone buzzed again in my hand. Another message. Same unknown number. She's fighting you for it, isn't she? My stomach dropped. I turned my head slowly to look at Lauren. She was already staring at me, her face pale under the streetlights, her breath coming fast. She knew. She knew this was it. For the first time since this fight started, she didn't have a quick lie. No snarky comeback. No eye rolls or fake outrage. She just whispered, Adam, please. It was the please that made my blood run cold. Not please, believe me. Not please, don't do this. Just please. Like she knew there was no saving herself. Like she just wanted me to stop before things got worse. But I didn't stop. I went straight to the one thing she had tried so hard to keep from me. The phone bill. Lauren lunged again, but I was faster. I turned my body away, shielding my screen as I pulled up our account. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely type in the password. But when I did, when the records loaded, my entire world shattered. Ethan. Call after call. Every single day. Hours of conversations, sometimes late at night, sometimes in the middle of the day when she was at work. Texts. Hundreds of them. More than she had ever sent me in our entire marriage. And then, the final nail in the coffin. Hotel reservations. My chest collapsed. The betrayal hit me like a sledgehammer to the ribs, knocking the air from my lungs. My fingers tingled. My vision blurred. I felt like I was going to be sick. Lauren must have seen it on my face because her entire demeanor changed. She didn't yell. She didn't fight. She just exhaled shakily and slumped back against the seat. Okay, she said quietly. Okay. I turned my head, my throat so tight I could barely speak. That's all you have to say? She didn't answer at first. She just stared straight ahead, her fingers tapping lightly against the dashboard, thinking, calculating. Then, in the most emotionless, almost bored voice, she said, What do you want me to say? Something inside me snapped that I had imagined this moment before. Not because I ever thought Lauren would betray me, but because we all have that one nightmare scenario in our heads. That one situation where everything we trust turns out to be a lie. I used to wonder how I'd react. Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I just walk away? Turns out I laughed. A sharp, bitter sound burst out of my throat before I could stop it. Lauren flinched, but just barely. She was still staring straight ahead, her fingers still tapping that same infuriatingly calm rhythm against the dashboard. "What do I want you to say?" I repeated, my voice shaking with something dark. "How about anything that makes you sound like a human being?" She exhaled, slow and measured, before turning to face me. Finally, and when she did, I saw it. There was no guilt, no shame, just annoyance, like I was inconveniencing her. "You weren't supposed to find out like this," she muttered, more to herself than to me. I stared at her, my pulse roaring in my ears. "Oh? And how exactly was I supposed to find out, Lauren?" She rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes. "God, Adam, don't be so dramatic." Something inside me turned ice cold. Dramatic? That was what she thought this was? I clenched my jaw, forcing my voice to stay calm. "How long?" She didn't answer. "How long?" Lauren sighed, finally looking at me. And then, in a voice so casual it made my skin crawl, she said, "About a year." My breath left me in a rush. My stomach twisted so violently I thought I might actually throw up. A year. 365 days. 12 months of lying, of sneaking, of pretending to be my wife while she was his. I gripped the steering wheel, needing something, anything, to keep me grounded. "And you were never gonna tell me." She shrugged. I had never wanted to shake someone before, but right now, I wanted to grab her by the shoulders and force her to feel something. "Was I supposed to?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "I mean, you never noticed. You never suspected. We were fine." I laughed again, this time harsher. "We were fine." She sighed like she was talking to a child. "Adam, let's not do this. It happened. You know now. So what do you want to do about it?" The casualty in her voice, the complete lack of remorse, made something in me break. She had already moved on. For her, this conversation wasn't an apology. It was just an ending, and not even a particularly dramatic one. Just a formality. She was sitting here, acting like she was letting me go, like she had already decided we were done, and she was just waiting for me to catch up. I had never known hatred until this moment. I turned off the car, unbuckled my seatbelt, opened the door. Lauren frowned. "Where are you going?" I turned back just long enough to meet her eyes. "Inside," I said, "to pack your shit." For the first time all night, she looked surprised. Lauren blinked, just once, and for the first time tonight I saw it, real emotion. Not fake outrage, not practiced annoyance, just a flicker of something that almost looked like fear. Not fear of losing me. Oh no, that would require her to actually care. This was fear of consequences. She hadn't expected this. She thought I'd scream, maybe cry, maybe punch a wall. But she didn't expect me to be done. I stepped out of the car, slamming the door behind me. I could hear her unbuckling her seatbelt, scrambling to follow. "Adam, wait!" she called, heels clicking against the pavement as she rushed after me. "Can we just talk for a second?" I didn't stop. We were in the parking lot of our apartment complex now, the cold night air burning my lungs as I moved. Lauren caught up, grabbing my arm. I ripped it away like her touch was poison. "Talk," I repeated, my voice low, dangerous. "Oh, now you want to talk? After a year of sneaking around behind my back, after lying to my face tonight, after fighting me for my own phone, now you want to talk?" She exhaled sharply, looking away, like she was annoyed again. "You're making this a bigger deal than it needs to be." I laughed, actually laughed. "A bigger deal?" I shook my head in disbelief. "Lauren, you cheated on me for a year. You humiliated me. You stole time from me that I can't get back. So tell me, how exactly am I supposed to react?" Her jaw clenched. "People make mistakes." I took a slow step closer, my voice shaking with pure rage. "A mistake," I hissed, "is one time. A mistake is a drunken kiss, a stupid decision, something you regret the second it happens." Pointed at her. You made a choice. Over and over and over again. A mistake is an accident. What you did was a lifestyle. She rolled her eyes. Again. Oh my God, Adam. And that was it. That was the final straw. I turned on my heel and stormed up the stairs to our apartment, leaving her behind. She called my name again, but I didn't turn around. I didn't wait. I threw open the front door and went straight to the bedroom. Everything in here felt like a lie. The bed we had shared. The pictures on the walls. Her clothes in the closet, her perfume on the dresser. I grabbed the nearest suitcase and started stuffing it with her things. Behind me, I heard her enter. She was breathing hard, probably from running up the stairs. But I didn't care. Are you serious right now? She demanded. You're actually throwing me out? I didn't stop. I grabbed handfuls of clothes, shoes, makeup, anything that belonged to her, and shoved it into the suitcase. Lauren scoffed. Jesus Christ, Adam. Where am I even supposed to go? I paused, turned to her slowly, and with a voice so cold it didn't even sound like mine, I said, I don't give a shit. Her mouth opened, then closed, and for the first time all night, she had nothing to say. Lauren stood there, arms crossed, watching me toss her things into the suitcase like she was bored. Not heartbroken, not regretful, just mildly inconvenienced. You're being so dramatic, she muttered, rubbing her temples. I ignored her. I grabbed more of her clothes, yanking them off hangers so fast the plastic snapped. She could call me dramatic all she wanted. It didn't change the fact that she was leaving tonight. She let out a bitter laugh. Wow, 8 years together and this is how you handle things? Like a child throwing a tantrum. Something inside me burned white hot. I turned to her, gripping a handful of her dresses so tight my knuckles ached. A tantrum? My voice was eerily calm. No, Lauren. A tantrum would be smashing your phone. A tantrum would be showing up at Ethan's house and dragging his ass out by the collar. Her jaw tightened. I let out a humorless chuckle. But I'm not doing that, am I? I'm just making sure the woman who spent a year lying to me, sleeping in my bed while sneaking off to his, gets the hell out of my house. She rolled her eyes, but this time, it wasn't as confident. I could feel it. The shift. She was realizing that she didn't have control anymore. I zipped up the suitcase, yanked it off the bed, and shoved it into her arms. She barely caught it in time. Seriously. I stepped closer, dropping my voice. Get out. She scoffed, shaking her head. You really think it's that simple? That you can just throw me out and we'll never talk again? Yes. She laughed again, but there was an edge to it now. What about the lease, Adam? My name's on it too. I smirked. Good news. I already texted the landlord, told him I'd cover the break fee. So guess what? As of tomorrow, this place isn't yours anymore. Her lips parted slightly. You didn't. Oh, I did. Lauren's face twisted, cycling through a dozen different emotions as she processed that. Then suddenly she changed tactics. Her eyes softened, her shoulders relaxed, and just like that, the cold, uncaring bitch disappeared. And in her place, the woman I used to love. Adam, she whispered, stepping closer. Don't do this. We've been together for so long. We don't have to throw it all away like this. I almost laughed in her face. There she was, the real Lauren, the manipulator, the liar, the woman who could flip a switch when it suited her. I tilted my head. We don't. She reached out, grazing her fingers over my arm. We can talk about this. We can fix it. Her voice was honeyed now, thick with fake sweetness. I still love you. I stared at her, then I smiled, and said the cruelest thing I have ever said to another human being. Lauren? I murmured, leaning in slightly. You don't love me. She blinked. I cut her off. You love that I was easy to lie to. You love that I never questioned you. You love that I was predictable, that I was your safe option. I stepped back, watching her expression shatter. But me? The actual me? You haven't loved me for a long, long time. Silence. She swallowed, opened her mouth, closed it again, and for once, she had no lie to hide behind. I took a deep breath, nodding toward the door. Now get the hell out. And this time, she actually left. Lauren didn't slam the door when she left. She didn't scream or cry or make a scene. She just walked out, suitcase in hand, shoulders stiff. A single glance over her shoulder, like she was expecting me to stop her. I didn't. The second the door clicked shut behind her, a strange feeling washed over me. Not relief, not sadness, not even anger, emptiness. I had spent the last few hours burning our entire relationship to the ground. But now that the fire was out, I was standing in the ashes, wondering what the hell I was supposed to do next. For a while I just stood there, staring at the door, listening to the sound of my own heartbeat. Then my phone buzzed. For a split second I thought it was her. Maybe some last desperate attempt to get back in. Maybe another lie, another excuse. But when I glanced at the screen, unknown number, I hesitated. Then finally I opened the message. She's gone, isn't she? My blood ran cold. I typed back, fingers stiff. Who the hell are you? The response came immediately. Someone who knows exactly what you're going through. I sat down slowly on the couch, my heart slamming against my ribs. Explain. This time the reply took a little longer. But when it came, when I read those words, I felt the entire world tilt beneath me. I'm Ethan's wife. For a moment, I just stared at the screen. My brain refused to process it. Ethan's wife. This bastard was married. I exhaled sharply, gripping the phone so tight my fingers ached. My hands were still shaking, but now it wasn't from shock. It was from pure, unfiltered rage. I forced myself to type. Where are you? The reply came fast. Downstairs. I shot up from the couch and marched to the window, pulled back the curtain, and there she was. A woman stood by the street lamp, arms crossed, phone in hand. Even from here, I could see the tension in her shoulders, the way she kept shifting her weight, like she was barely holding herself together. For a second, I considered not going down. What was the point? What could she possibly say that would make any of this better? But then, another thought hit me. She knew. She had known before I did. She was the one who texted me, and that meant I grabbed my jacket, shoved open the door, and took the stairs 2 at a time. By the time I stepped outside, she had already turned to face me. Up close, she looked exhausted. Dark circles under her eyes, lips pressed into a thin, hard line. I stopped a few feet away, studying her. She did the same. Then, finally, you told me to check the phone bill, I said. My voice sounded raw. She nodded.